So which Pokemon Sword and Shield booster box has had the most growth so far in 2024? You might be surprised. Today, I want to look at the 12 Sword and Shield booster boxes to see simply how they've been performing as an investment vehicle. Now, if you're anything like me, you like to collect Pokemon sealed product, more specifically, English booster boxes. That's really our bread and butter, right? Now, today's the 1st of July, the start of the new financial year. I wanted to look back at the last 6 months, the first 6 months of 2024, from January to all the way to the end of June, to see how have the Sword and Shield booster boxes been performing. And I've ranked all 12 booster boxes from the Sword and Shield era strictly based on performance. Not based on my opinion, not based on which ones I like the most, strictly based on their percentage growth as an investment vehicle. And you might be surprised how this list turns out. Some you won't be surprised about, but some you might. Let's just get straight into it. 12 being the worst performing booster box for the last 6 months, 1 being the best performing, the biggest percentage growth in the last 6 months. Let's get straight into it, guys. Alrighty guys, so coming in dead last on this list and ranked at number 12 is this Rebel Clash booster box, aka Rebel Trash. Now 6 months ago, this Rebel Clash booster box was $231. It's now $214. So it's lost $17 in the last 6 months. Again, this is from January 2024 to the end of June 2024. And I've ranked these on a percentage basis, not on a dollar basis, right? So this is last on the list because it's in a negative. It's minus 7%. It's gone down 7% in the last 6 months. Like I said, 231 6 months ago, now 214. 12th on the list and worst investment out of these 12 Sword and Shield booster boxes. Now, Darkness Ablaze, 11th worst performing booster box from the Sword and Shield era. 6 months ago, 143, now 149. 6 months, it's gone up $6. $6. And that represents 4% growth. So Darkness Ablaze, you waited for the last 6 months, you waited all year for Darkness Ablaze to make you rich, and it's gone up a lousy 4%. Not the greatest investment from the Sword and Shield era, though. The best card in there is Charizard. It's not an expensive Charizard, but it's not bad. But it's just not a strong set, and that's why it's number 11 on this list. The 10th worst performing booster box is the Sword and Shield base set. Now, look, this thing's done alright, so I'll probably get some heat in the comments about, hey, I paid, $100 for this when it came out. I've tripled my money. It's not a bad investment overall compared to some other investments. But out of these 12, the numbers don't lie. It's the 10th best performer so far in 2024. Things can always change. But anyway, I don't want to ramble on too much. 6 months ago, 274 went down to 263 and back up to 294. So from 274 6 months ago to 294 today, it's gone up in 6 months $20, which represents 7% growth. 7% growth in 6 months for the Sword and Shield base set. Again, this is a completely unbiased opinion. I'm just going through the numbers. Now, these are an investment vehicle for us, right? So it's important to track our investments and see if they're performing or not. Vivid Voltage is the 9th worst performing booster box from Sword and Shield so far in 2024. Again, this is only a 6 month window. I'm not looking back over 3 years, 2 years, 12 months. This is strictly a 6 month window from January to June. $125 6 months ago and now $136. Vivid Voltage is up $11. Now, why does that beat Sword and Shield base, which was up $20? Because it had a lower entry point for your investment. So again, this is on a percentage basis, right? So Vivid Voltage is up 8%. Sword and Shield base was up 7%. Vivid Voltage is up 8%. There's nothing in it. Those two are neck and neck. It's a bit of a shame, because Vivid Voltage, we had high hopes for it, right? With that big Rainbow Pikachu, we thought it was going to be a really strong set. Unfortunately, other than that Pikachu, there's not much going for this set, and that's why it's come in so low. This just hasn't performed, guys. You guys must have an idea that this isn't the strongest set to invest in. But if you like Vivid Voltage, crack it open, have fun, enjoy the process, but it's just not a strong investment. Coming in number 9 on this list. Now, coming in 8th on the list is Brilliant Stars. 6 months ago, Brilliant Stars was 160, went up to 194 back in basically about 5 weeks ago, went up to 194, and it's dropped off to 181. So it's dropped off about $13 in the last 5-6 weeks or so. But like I said, 160 6 months ago, and now 181. It's gone up $21 so far in 2024. Again, I feel like Brilliant Stars is a bit underloved, and ranking it 8th on this list, it's not my fault, right? It just hasn't performed the way it should have. The cards in this set are really nice. It's a fun set to open. It's a great set to have in your collection. Unfortunately, it's number 8 on the list at the moment. Again, this can all change in time, guys. If you're looking at this video in 6 months, Brilliant Stars might perform a lot better than some of the others I'm about to go through. And I do personally like Brilliant Stars in my collection. I think it's a bit underloved, and I think it will still do pretty well in time. But so far in the last 6 months, it just hasn't done a lot. It's up 13% in 6 months. And he's 8th on the list. Now, Battle Styles, 7th on the list. 7th best performing booster box from the Sword and Shield era over the last 6 months. Now, Battle Styles was really, I would say, hated on to a degree. It was just so heavily printed. No one was chasing Battle Styles. It was a really overlooked set. People didn't really care too much about Battle Styles. I personally don't mind it. I think it's a little bit stronger than what people give it credit for. And the chase cards in that set have really started to take off as well. But 6 months ago, it was $107. It's now $136. Look, I still think this is a good pickup. But again, this list is not based on my opinion. This is just the numbers. Now, 136 from 107 6 months ago means Battle Styles is up $29 and 27%. 27% growth. So we just had Brilliant Stars, which was 8th on the list, and that had 13% growth. This has had 27% growth. Battle Styles has had some decent growth. Battle Styles is doing alright. That's the bottom 6. Let's get in the top 6 now. The top 6 now, right, from Sword and Shield. Silver Tempest, 6th on the list. 6 months ago was 126, and now it's 162. Silver Tempest is up $36 in the last 6 months and 28%. Now, it's not much in front of Battle Styles. I just told you Battle Styles is up 27% growth in the last 6 months. Silver Tempest is up 28%. We're talking about 1% difference. So Silver Tempest slightly in front of Battle Styles. Again, these two are neck and neck. There's nothing in it, guys, and this could change in a matter of days. But there you go. Over the last 6 months, Silver Tempest is up 28%. So these top 6, obviously, they're going to be a better investment, I think, in the coming years than the bottom 6. They've done well. They've done better than the other 6, and they're going to continue to do better than the other 6 for the most part. For the most part, it's pretty hard to go wrong with these top 4, 5, 6 booster boxes I'm about to go through, and the numbers are showing that. The market's showing that. 5th, the top 5 now. 5th best performing booster box from Sword and Shield in the last 6 months is Astro Radiance. $128 for this booster box 6 months ago. Now $179. Astro Radiance over the last 6 months is up $51. $51 in growth in the last 6 months for Astro Radiance, representing 39% growth in the last 6 months. So that's why it's 5th on the list. Now, you guys are welcome to kind of disagree with this list if you want, but it's just data. It's just data. This is what the numbers are showing over the last 6 months. Now you can take this list how you like and invest or not invest or whatever. It doesn't really matter. There's no real indication that, for example, Brilliant Stars and Battle Styles is going to do poorly or well over the next year or 2 years or 6 months. You really got to do your own research, guys. This is just how they've been performing lately, okay? Lost Origin, number 4 on the list. $134 6 months ago. Went up to $222 in May. And now it's dropped off a little bit. It's actually dropped off a fair bit over the last couple of weeks. And now it's down at 188. But 6 months ago, 134, and now at 188. Meaning it's 4th on the list. It's gone up $51, $54 in the last 6 months, and 40% growth. So barely in front of Astro Radiance. Again, Astro Radiance has gone up 39%, and Lost Origin has gone up 40%. These are very close, guys. There's nothing in it. Silver Tempest and Battle Styles, 1% difference. Astro Radiance and Lost Origin, 1% difference. Really strong performance from Lost Origin. I would say this. Lost Origin has come down, what is that, 40 bucks in the last sort of 6 weeks. It's come off $40. Even with that $40 drop, it's still performed 4th best on this list. So I mean, Lost Origin is strong. It looks like it's starting to correct now, but I mean, we'll see what happens with that Lost Origin. Now we're getting to the top 3 guys. The 3rd best performing set from Sword and Shield over the last 6 months is Chilling Reign. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised with that. Again, I think Chilling Reign is a really solid pickup at these prices still. $160 6 months ago, and now if you want to buy a Chilling Reign booster box, it's going to cost you $229. Chilling Reign has gone up $69 in the last 6 months. $69 growth, but again, I've ranked these on a percentage, not on a dollar basis. On a percentage basis, Chilling Reign is up 43%. Now, Lost Origin was up 40%, and you know, had we done this list 2 months ago, Lost Origin might be in front of Chilling Reign actually, but it's had that recent drop. So Chilling Reign, 3rd best performer out of all 12 in the last 6 months at 43%. 43% growth. These are really good returns. If you're a Shield investor, if you have these English booster boxes in your collection, these are really good returns. You'd struggle to get these returns on the stock market. I don't want to compare these to the stock market because you've got no dividend. You've got, you know, the liquidity is not as good generally, although these do sell pretty quickly at the right price. So I don't want to compare it too much to the stock market, but like, hello, 40% growth in 6 months. Investors anywhere would love those sort of returns. Evolving Skies, number 2 on the list. Now, before you whine and complain that it's not number 1, this is done on a percentage basis, guys. Not on a. If I did this list on the dollar growth, of course, Evolving Skies is going to be number 1. But based on percentage growth, which is how you should rank your investments, how much have they grown percentage-wise? 6 months ago, Evolving Skies was $436. It's now $700. Evolving Skies is up a whopping $264. These are all US dollars from this data is from TCGplayer.com. $264 in 6 months, meaning Evolving Skies is up 60% growth in 6 months. Now, everybody in the market knows that Evolving Skies is absolute king from the Sword and Shield era, and that, you know, I expect big things from this booster box in the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, and so on, and just so on. Like, it's the best set by far. But as an investment, it's not been the best performer in the last 6 months. Again, these numbers can change in the space of a few weeks. So depending on when you watch this video, these numbers could change. Up 60% in the last 6 months. So what's been the best performing, the number 1 performing booster box on a percentage growth in the last 6 months? The number 1 booster box, Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike. Now, if I go back a year, you know, if I go back 12 months or so, people weren't really looking at Fusion Strike as a top 5 set. Most people weren't, and it always had strong chase cards. So it always surprised me that it was overlooked. But over the last 6 months, people have started to pay attention to Fusion Strike, and especially in the last few months, now everyone knows how good Fusion Strike is. But 6 months ago, $144, now $238. Fusion Strike is up $94 in the last 6 months, guys. $94. That means Fusion Strike booster box is up 65%. 65% in the last 6 months. Great investment. Solid investment. Fusion Strike absolutely shooting the lights out. Evolving Skies not far behind it. And again, on a dollar basis, it would have been Evolving Skies at number 1, but on a percentage basis, percentage growth, that is Fusion Strike. Leave me your feedback in the comments. Let me know what you think of this list and how you interpret this list, how much you think it's going to matter in the next 6 or 12 months, which ones are going to overtake. You know, is Evolving Skies going to overtake Fusion Strike as a better investment? Probably, maybe, who knows? But it's important to track the numbers and see how these things go, guys. You're investing in these things, you're spending a lot of money on these booster boxes. It's good to just check the data and see if they're performing. And maybe the sets that aren't performing, you can sell them and buy some new sets that you think will perform better. Just balance out your Pokemon portfolio every now and again. These numbers are important to know. These numbers are really important to know. And yeah, leave your feedback, leave your comments. Let me know what you think of this list. And any suggestions on anything else you'd like me to look at for the videos, guys. Thanks for tuning into the Chase Card once again. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of your support. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. See you next time on the Chase Card. Bye, everyone. Bye.